Hello Internet! Today I want to take a little time out of your day and tell you about a nonprofit organization. Today is December 17th, and if you didn't know, December 17th to the 18th are days in which YouTube puts aside for YouTubers, well-known or not, to make videos about their favorite charities or nonprofits. If you're interested about today and you want to learn more and participate, please check out the website down below and also comment on any project for awesome videos. Before I tell you about my charity, which is more of a nonprofit than it is a charity, I want to tell you about my experience with school. So earlier this year, I graduated from college. I've come to the conclusion that there are two types of people who graduate from college. The people who know what they're doing after college and the people who don't. And so the people who don't usually go into some existential crisis. And I noticed that there are two types of people who go into an existential crisis. There are the people who get into the biggest slump of their life, which is actually pretty serious and kind of scary. And then there are people who narrowly avoid the slump of their life and they just started a bunch of projects. I am the latter. I started writing my novel that I started earlier this year, and I also rebooted my YouTube channel. Most importantly this year, I think, I started volunteer work. Now, I didn't really know what I wanted to get out of volunteer work, but all I knew was that I wanted to make the most out of this year and do something that doesn't make it a waste of time. I, however, did not know that volunteer work and just going to this place twice a week and creating these friendships and relationships with these people would become something that I actually live for now. And I'm gonna try not to cry during this video. Don't cry, Nancy, don't cry. During my existential crisis after I graduated, I did some research on places I could volunteer, and I found a bunch and I emailed a bunch. But the one that really stuck out to me was a program called Think Together. Think Together is an after-school program for at-risk kids. The term at-risk sounds really scary, and it actually is very scary because it means that these kids, once they get to high school, they'll have a pretty high chance of just dropping out and giving up. So I started corresponding with the staff supervisor of this campus that I currently volunteer at, and eventually I came in and got an orientation of what I would be doing and who these kids were. The program is interesting in that the kids are not at all shy, which is a huge testament to how effective and how important the program is for them. The staff supervisor introduced me in front of all these kids, and she gave me a badge, which I have right here, and right off the bat these kids accepted me, and these kids welcomed me. I'm just gonna wear this on for the sake of props because, yeah, props! One particular student asked me to help him with his math homework, so I sat down next to him, read the question aloud for him, and tried to help him. The question was this: Teresa bought a scarf for $23.85. She had to pay $1.95 tax. She gave the sales clerk $30, so how much change did she get back? I asked the student what the next step was to figuring out how much change she got back. He shrugged. I thought about it for a minute, and then I asked him if he knew what sales tax was. He shrugged. The more I got to know these kids and the more I got to be involved with this program, the more I saw how some of the kids were extremely behind. Some of the kids were in 8th grade and they weren't even past 2nd grade math. Those same kids, they had to use their fingers to multiply and divide. The most common factor between all these kids who seem behind is that they blame themselves. Even though I truly believe that personal choice has a lot to do with who you are, especially when you become an adult, I want to argue that circumstances, especially from a young age, has a lot to do with who you are and who you think you can be. So I make this video today to tell you how you add up in this picture. Of course, you could donate. That's always needed. Money is always needed in this program, and over again I see that. I want to push it further in this video and ask you to volunteer. Earlier this year, in the summer of 2013, they took a poll. 59% of the students felt like they liked learning. 61 to 66% of the students felt like they belonged in the program, which is a really good number, but I definitely think it could get better. The most profound statistic that they found was that 91% of the students felt like they had at least one friend in the program. There could be a lot of factors as to why these students are in these situations, but I definitely think it's because they lack mentorship and they lack really strong relationships in their lives. To paraphrase John Green, it's not an us-them issue, it is a we issue. We help us. And I really want to take that into a very literal stance, because by volunteering, you are making them, us, a we. So please, I ask you to go out and volunteer wherever. It doesn't even have to be at a Think Together or an after-school program. It could be at a hospital. It could be at a soup kitchen, anywhere. Trust me, it'll be something that is so incredibly rewarding that you don't even know how to describe it, really. Except by crying, which I'm about to do, which I will stop myself right now. So I'm just gonna end this video right now before it just gets totally rambly. So don't forget to be awesome, but most importantly, don't forget to do awesome things. Bye! It's a cute color, but it doesn't go with it.